Andy and Jamie take over. Hey guys, how's your Thursday?
Hey Scott, thanks a lot, buddy. Jamie, how are you, my friend?
All good, Andy. All good. What a past couple of days we've had. Happy Thursday, everybody.
Yeah, kind of crazy. Wasn't expecting this action, but we'll talk about in just a minute when we get to the market recap. But thanks everybody for coming today. Looks like we're going to have a good crowd. And this is the Trading Studio. My name's Andy, and that is Jamie, and the other guy is Scott. So let's dive in. And before we do, we're going to go over the disclaimer here real quick. Okay, we are a publisher. Okay, this is for educational purposes only. Nothing that you see or hear today should be construed as investment advice. That's not what we're trying to do here. So if you are seeking that type of information, you want to seek out a registered advisor, a stockbroker, somebody who has that Series 7 license and can legally give you that advice. All right, let me talk a little bit about our 5-star support education and training, because we got a big test drive coming up in which you will get access to Friday after the market closes. Scott will talk about that here at the end, so you guys can sign up if you haven't signed up yet. But you're gonna, obviously new software, very powerful. You're gonna have a lot of questions, and we're gonna provide a lot of support in education and training. Normally, what you see there on the left side, we do webinars Monday through Thursday in this same time slot, where we'll go over the software. We'll talk about, today I'm going to talk about a couple of windows and show you the configurations and how you can use all these cool different filters and alerts. But during the test drive, we'll have a support session open every day, for at least an hour every morning for you guys to come in as you get, get familiar with the software. So, and then we normally have a support webinar even when we're not doing a test drive, every Monday through Friday at 12 Eastern time. That's a great place to come to ask your questions, and we can visually show you how to do something. So be sure you get to that support webinar if you have any questions. It's much better than sending in an email, because once again, you get a visual. All right. Oh, and let's not forget the traders room. Cannot leave out Barry, our moderator. Very good trader, and also a very good teacher of the software. He knows it very well, and he encourages you to ask questions. So a lot of places, guys, not to mention our endless array of videos that we have on our YouTube channel. So there's plenty of places to go and get help at trade ideas. All right, let's talk a little bit about our simulated trading platform. It's we call it our Brokerage Plus. It's a very cool interface for you to paper trade on, or you can actually, if you have an account with IB, and soon with a couple of other brokers coming up here shortly, you can actually use our interface to trade. And I can tell you it is a treat, because it's a very nice, neat, tidy little interface where you don't have to have a whole lot of bells and whistles. I mean, it has them, but it's just clean, crisp. I'm sure most of you seen it. If you've got our software, it's this Brokerage Plus, and when you go live trading, it's the same exact tool. You do not need to paper trade. You do not need a broker connection. You do not need to fund an account. You just have to have a standard subscription. So check it out, guys. If you haven't used it, get in there and take advantage of it. Agenda for today. We are going to talk about the market recap. I'll have some things to say about that, and so will Jamie. Holly recap a couple of really good trades that I'm going to point out, and then I'm going to turn it over to Jamie so he can kind of break those down for you. And then I'm going to talk about the bullish daily candlestick, because I really believe this is a very powerful tool, and not enough people are either aware of it or not using it, especially traders that may be new to trading, because it's a very defined entry. You can use this for day trading or swing trading. I like it more for swing trading, but it can definitely be used for day trading. It's an M window, and we'll talk about that. And then a guy came into our chat today online and was asking about our Fibonacci alerts. And I have a really good Fibonacci hack that I created for daily Fibonacci. So I'm going to show you how you can use a position in range filters, okay, to find that the Fibonacci. So it's I haven't talked about this in a while, but and I'll also share that with you as well. man, some really good price alerts from our attendees. We're going to talk about that. So let's get out of this, back out, and then we will pull up the old SPY here. SPY chart. And boy, we've had a couple of gaps after the election, and probably caught a little bit off guard. Sometimes the market makes you do that. If you're like me, I kind of kept my powder dry. I was in a few things, but for the most part, going into the election, I was probably 80% cash, but I still think there was plenty of opportunity even after the market opened, and a lot of stocks on this day right here. I'm sorry, guys, I'm on a foreign computer here, and I don't have my pen, so you're just going to have to follow along with me today. So here's what we had. We were sitting right under this, going into the election, right under this 10-period moving average. So we were suppressed kind of all under our key moving averages, and then, boy, we jumped way up in between, above two of them the day after the election, closed above, and then, boy, what do we have? Another gap up today. For election that there's still some uncertainty. I think this is very positive action for the bulls. And what it kind of tells me is that we weren't having an election right now, the market would be a lot higher. So in other words, I got a feeling that it was pretty much priced in. I don't know, but regardless, you got to play the action. There's no sense in trying to figure out why price action is doing what it's doing. It's your job as a trader just to react to the action. And right now, it's very bullish, regardless of the outcome. It just tells me, it's priced in. Regardless of who the winner is, I think it was priced into the, I don't know, but there's definitely still some uncertainty out there, and we're not selling. Typically, the market does not like uncertainty, so that tells me the uncertainty was probably already priced in. Nonetheless, here we sit, guys, and we are not far from our all-time highs, okay? Just 8 points there in the SPYs. Let's take a look at the Qs, which is about the same picture there, and those patterns look very similar, and a little bit higher there, another but what is that, 9 points? So very similar patterns there. IWM, remember, they were holding up better going into the election, and they are, obviously their all-time high is back over here. I think, yeah, way back over here, set a couple of years ago. So they're still kind of a ways away from their all-time high, but nonetheless, they've taken out a several-month high today and actually closed above a several-month high. So still seeing relative strength in the IWM. So something to keep an eye out. I'm not going to look at the Dow. I just don't care for it anymore. 30 stocks. But Jamie, it's bullish out there. I'm not seeing, we're back above our moving averages. It just shows you the strength. I'm not going to say of the economy. I'm just going to say of the stock market for whatever reason, because we both know the stock market is not the economy. So you got to play the price action, don't you?
Absolutely. And you look at the past 3-4 days on the SPY, I thought it'd take us like twice that long to grind back up there. But no, it's resilient to say the least.
Yep, it is. It is that. I think you have to watch this high going back to last month. But through that, we really don't have any resistance from keeping us to go to all-time highs. So did have a little topping tail today, a little weak close there. So I need to keep an eye out on that. But other than that, there's really no bearish case. So
I concur, Doctor.
Oh yeah. All right, let me point out these before I hand it over to you. I told the guys when I was going over the Holly calls on Tuesday to keep an eye on these two NEO ones called pullback long and breakdown short. I'm sorry, take that back, pullback short. Okay, these are looking for more setups versus just chasing a wild candle in the opening 5 minutes of the day. And two beautiful calls, Yeti, and I got triple confirmation today from Yeti because it was coming through my extreme volume high-low pro this morning. And What a beautiful call this is. I mean, this Yeti, you see an all-time high, draw your candle here. You got a gap and go through all-time high on really great, strong volume. You can see the volume candle right there. Guys, anytime you see something like that, I just can't tell you how much, strength that is. Whether you're day trading or swing trading, that is very powerful. Anytime you get a gap and go, and with that kind of volume to all-time highs, they typically tend to just trend all day, and this one did pull back a little bit on the close, but what a powerful move there. Great call by the XP, and then Yeti. I'm sorry, XPEV, another one, and I'll let Jamie talk about that one. But still, from the same alert, pullback long, and actually the pullback short. I'll let Jamie talk about that one. Was a good one as well.
Yeah, that Vapo.
Yeah, Vapo. All right, Jamie. So you want to, I'm hoping it's still too much of your thunder there, but you definitely can break them down a little more and talk about. There's a few others in there too. Yeah.
Absolutely. Let me grab the screen here. Oops, wrong person. Hold on.
Oh, and by the way, I will definitely give you that sector analysis that you're looking for. You can find it in the Trader's Vault. Yeah, right. Jamie will show you where that is. Just look for the key in the channel bar over there.
Yeah, if we just kind of, let me grab my pointer here. This is the Trader's Vault channel right here. Just click on there, it'll take you there, and you can see all the windows that are in there that are mine, Steve, Andy, Sean's favorite windows, and the sector window should be there.
And I'll tell you what I'll do. You're going to need it. You're going to need a symbol list for that. So what I'm going to do is I'll copy my symbol list and I'll drop it into the chat window for you. So you can just copy and paste. I hope you know how to create a symbol list because you're going to need one. And if you don't know how, just send us an email and I'll send you a video on how to do that.
Okie dokie. So I take it everybody can see. So let's just pull up that one that Andy was just talking about, the Holly Trade XPEV. Little quick recap here before we dive into that one. How many trades did we have today from the AI? Well, we had 17. 7 from 1.0, 1 from 2.0, 9 from Neo. And of course, these numbers here are based on 100 shares per trade, but that is not how I have my blotter set up here. You'll notice the share amounts of each trade, and that is based on risking $100 per trade. So here we go with the XPEV right up here at the top. Why are we looking at this one? Because there is a significant spread between, let me just change my pointer here real quick. A little too, well, I'm looking for there we go. Okay, so the difference between, all right, wrong size once again. Okay, the difference between conservative and moderate profit here. In conservative mode, why did Holly get out? But profit save. Now, we can see up here on the 15-minute candles here, this was the candle where the signal was generated for the buy at 31.53. Notice that this wick is slightly below the stop area, but it called it on the way back up, okay? So, that kind of caught me off guard for a minute there. I'm like, well, that looks really close. Now, in this next candle here, it came really close to stopping us out. Well, it looks a lot closer than it actually is because the stop loss value is 30.65 and the low of this candle is 30.81. So we're still a good 16 cents away from the stop area here, but that is really where Holly got a little bit nervous and pulled the plug in profit save right here, right there, and somewhere in that little doji candle right there on the 15-minute time frame. So you can see here, she booked a small loss in conservative mode. But what do we have to do? Check out the action here. All we're doing is going sideways. Matter of fact, I actually like this, and not only Holly trades, but any other trade. A little sideways action is not necessarily a bad thing as it builds steam and hopefully heads in the direction that we hope it does. But you can see after these first few candles, we just got that grind up above the entry level, and this one was just a smooth sail, okay? A little bit of nervousness right here as the stop was almost, got kind of close. But all we had to do was ignore Holly's profit save signal and go, you know what, just going to give it a little bit of time, stick to my hard stop. You hear me say that all the time. That's what stops are there for. If we're wrong, that's what we're willing to lose, especially in markets like this, where you have things popping up and down a lot more than they normally do in a quote unquote normal type of market. But all we had to do is just be patient, and this one would have been paid off immensely. So really juicy spread there between negative 22 bucks or 23 if we just round up, and finishing the day pretty much at highs, booking $500 in profits, only being in 114 shares there. Now also too, this one was a really great example of a good place to add on. So if we just kind of mark off that initial high that it put in on that wick, a lot of the times these are telegraph wicks. So, you know, buyers got excited, but then buyers and sellers became equal. We'll look over here, once we got to that high and breached it right here, a little more sideways action before that bigger lift at the close of the day. So right here would have been a great time to add to that position. Notice the 10 period was in control on the stock pretty much all day. Never even got a little bit bleedy there. So a really great trade. Once again, that was coming from pullback long as well as Yeti, which we're going to look at next here. So let's take a look at Yeti. The better mousetrap when it comes to coolers, right? So not a bad call here. You know, buyers clearly in control. Stock just can't go up in perpetuity, takes its pullback, and this is where Holly calls it right here at 56 cents. This one getting a little close to the stop, 54.90, but the low of that candle, 55.14, so it never even got down to the whole number, and it's kind of more of the same here. All right, Holly pulling the plug on a profit save. Don't really know why here. You know, this is more of a time-based kind of trailing stop, but 68.25 in conservative mode, and you can see the end of the shaded area right here. That's where Holly got out. But as we're going along in real time, you know, before all this is formed, check out the same thing. We've got a secondary pattern unfolding. You know, of course, when we got the signal down here and we make it through the next 30 minutes, we're thinking to ourselves, well, we might have that secondary pattern unfold in the form of an opening range break, and lo and behold, right here is where we had that tick above. Excellent place to add to the position as well. So really good add opportunities in both XPEV and Yeti, and then we just got the slow march up, you know, and depending on how aggressive you might be, even one more little add opportunity a little bit later in the day. So clearly a nice controlled buyer in the works here, more than likely institutional, and that's the way they do it. They can't just buy everything at once. When you see these stair-step patterns here, it's typically a good sign that there was a big buyer in there all day, and more than likely it was an institution. Probably so, because look how this one finished, a little over 6x on relative volume. All right, typically only kicks out a little over 1 million shares, but about 4.36 million shares trading hands today. So really nice price action in Yeti. And once again, what do we notice here? That 10 period was in control all day long, just keeping that thing nice and lofty. All right, so about 300 bucks in Yeti. We got about a little over 500 bucks in the spread in XPEV. You can see everything kind of starts to diminish as far as that type of spread goes, a little bit here and there, but nothing really to write home about. But we did have a couple of good examples of trade arounds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to resort so we can see all the stop hits. Did have a profit target hit today, which is always nice. That was a quick trade, buy and sell, boom, boom, wham, bam, in and out. But these guys right here, workhorse, okay? What is a trade around? Well, a trade around can be when you see Holly exiting in profit, save, or reduce risk, but you think to yourself, well, this still looks good. You might not be in it, so you go ahead and use that as your entry signal. But on a stop, these are more my favorite ones because we have to look and see how the stock behaved around the stop area. So in this case, on Workhorse, we get the buy signal here, and then fairly quickly, I should say, we're stopped out here. This red line, 16.99. I mean, it just comes down here and kisses it. You can tell the low of that candle, 16.99 up there on the upper left margin. Just kisses that that stop area, and then boom, right back up. Okay, so this was a nice little pivot point. It's how does it react around the stop area? If it had plummeted through and we got into this area down here and we're treading water below the stop area, it's of no interest to me. But if we get these quick pops, that's in essence acting as a pivot point, And we've all seen this time and time again, how we'll get stopped out and then boom, the stock takes off and does what it's intended to do. In other words, if you and I were in this and we got stopped out, well, that's the second mouse is getting the cheese. But if we see Holly get stopped out, we got no skin in the game. We can easily use this as our stop loss, keep the same stop loss, get a better price than Holly, and enjoy the up move. So that's one good example of a trade around today that was stopped out. And we also had another one in VG. I think that was a stop hit in VG. Yeah, this was a quick one, so we're going to have to go to the 5-minute time frame here because it happened fairly quickly, and we can always confirm this by looking at the in and out time. So VG, 8:35 and 33 seconds. So this trade executed 5 minutes 33 seconds in, and about 2.5 minutes later, it got stopped out. But it's the same song and dance. All right. If we take a peek right here, entry candle, same 5-minute candle basically. So we bought it up here, they fleshed it down. This is the stop loss line right here. Boom, wicks above it, and then never sees it the rest of the day. So, you know, when you see this candle open and you see that wick below that stop area, once again, you could probably get a slightly better price than Holly, which was up here. Use that as your exit. Boom, off to the races. You know, sit a little bit of a wiggle here, but not back down to your entry, and then boom, the biggest move of the day comes into play there. So just keep that in mind as you move forward. When you see a stop out, check it out. See how that stock reacts around that stop area. Does it act as a pivot or does it stay below? This one probably looks a lot different. Okay, let's take a peek. All right, PRMW. That was also a long. So notice how we buy up here, we come down here, we get stopped out. It kind of toes the line. So this one could have been a good example of, you know, stays below it for a little bit longer than I like, but then snaps back up. But a little bit too much of an excursion here. All right. Once they get below the stop loss area, I don't really like to pay much credence to them. It looks a lot different than what we see in this guy, right? Just kisses it and right back up. So those are the ones that are more likely to, you know, have the stop areas act as pivot points. If they stay below it, just kind of write them off and say, well, we'll wait for some other ones to pop in. So a couple of good examples of risk, or excuse me, I was about to say risk on, risk off, which is the old terminology. A couple good examples of conservative and moderate spread and how we can attempt to extract some of that during live market hours instead of just looking back in retrospect. And a couple of good examples of trade arounds in the form of stop hits and based on how they react around that stop area. Any other ones you want to point out before I kick it back to you, Andy?
No, great job. I just want to tell David, because he asked, why do you show aggressive profit when it's not an option? David,
okay.
Yeah, used to be we had what was called risk on and risk off, and risk on was the now aggressive profit. So it's just a way to show people that if you did hold everything until the end of the day and ignored the stop loss, what your profit or loss would be. So it's just kind of we didn't want to take everything out of the older version, so we just made another one called moderate profit. It's aggressive is very dangerous, and we don't want to give people the option of that because, like I said, it ignores the stop, and if people were auto trading with no stop, it could get very, very dangerous. So we don't want to.
Yeah, and correct, and that's only applicable within the AI tab of Brokerage Plus. You know, when you go in there, all you have is you want moderate or you want conservative. Now, of course, it is possible to trade aggressive if that's what you desire. You just have to jump through one more hoop. Okay, so you know, keep in mind it's not listed as an option in the risk management profile in the AI section of Brokerage Plus. However, if you run in moderate mode, it's making the entries, it's putting the stop in for you. So if you really want to go aggressive, all you have to do is go in there and cancel the stop, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, but we just didn't want people doing it accidentally. So that would be the way you go about it. Just use moderate, cancel the stops as they come out, and in essence, you are in aggressive profit mode.
All right.
All right, here it comes back to you, Andy.
All righty. All right, so Liliana, I hope you got that symbol list. I shared it in the chat window, so all you got to do is copy and paste that into a symbol list and into that sector analysis window, and you'll be able to get the same thing that I have up there. All right. If you go to the Trader's Vault, all right, you're going to find a window called Bullish Daily Candlesticks, and I bring this up probably about once every 2 months, just because I don't think enough people, you know, take a look at this, because it's very powerful, and and the reason it's more powerful than a lot of the alerts that we have in our other channels, or we may have custom built for you or something like that, is because it has a pre-configured symbol list in it based upon daily candlestick patterns. And let me show you what I'm talking about here. And you can find this in any window. Okay, so if you're in window configuration and you go to symbol list and you click on add existing list, you are going to find something in there called daily. And what you want to do is click on the little plus button there. It's going to expand it for you. And then you're going to see all these daily candlestick patterns in here. And the key word is daily. Okay, so if today you're looking at this, okay, and we're in the live action market, okay, it's not showing you candles for a day, because the candlestick obviously hasn't closed, so we don't know what it's going to look like. What it's showing you are these candlestick patterns based upon chart formations from yesterday. So each morning in our servers right now, when the market closes, it goes out and starts finding all these patterns for you. Now, I have gone through a lot of these patterns, and that's why I built this, this bullish daily candlestick pattern, and I mean this window. And the 4 that I have found that are probably the best are the green bar reversal, the topping tail. I'm just going to leave it at 2, because my other ones are doji. You don't get a whole lot of those, and you don't get a whole lot of hammers that I have in there, because it has to be a very precise. In other words, the close and the open have to be exactly the same for a doji. I mean, to the penny. So you will see a few, but it's not as common as the topping tail and the big green bar reversal. So our software is doing this for you. So all you got to do is build a configuration that you want to use to trade off of using these daily candles. So what I've done in my configuration is I'm simply using a new high alert. And why? Oh gosh, is this thing freezing up on me now? What the heck? There we go.
There you go.
Well, let me close this. TI not responding. Is it back now?
It appears to be.
Yeah, let's see here. Something ain't working right here. I may have to close it.
Probably it's because you're on the developer's version. You might have just found a bug.
Yeah, I just downloaded this today. It was a brand new one, so I just may have. Wait a minute. See, that's the problem when you're doing using these development versions. You do find these bugs. Everything else seems to be working properly, so it's definitely the developmental version here. Well, let me try it one more time, and if it does it, I'm just going to close the program and reopen it here. I think it may have finally glitched out of it, Jamie. All right. So what I did here in my configuration is this is what I want to see if I have a bullish daily candlestick pattern. What I want to see the next day. I want to see a new high. Okay. I got a new high in there. And this is the configuration I want to see. All right, I want to see, these are just price parameters, volume parameters. I just want to see normal volume, in excess of just normal volume. Volume in the 5-minute, 100% is normal. Relative volume is 1, that's normal. So in other words, I don't want to see these highs just on anemic volume. And then I want to see the position in the previous day's range. I want to see it at you know, 99%, which means at a minimum. So which basically is just saying I want it taking out the prior day's high. So if I have a bottoming tail and then I have it taking out the prior day high, that excites me. I at least want to see that set up. So let's just put it on and take a look at these. Some of the trades that's come through today. And you can hear me okay still, Jamie, right? I just want to make sure it wasn't.
Loud and clear, sir.
Okay, perfect. I just want to make sure the glitch was not just the, but I was pretty sure it wasn't. So we're going to go in time frame here and click on the trades for the day. And you're going to see a lot more bottoming tails than you are and bottoming tails and green bar reversals. The light blue is the bottoming tail. This black with green font is the green bar reversal. So let's just go back to around, I don't want to go real early. That's early enough. CSIQ. All right, there's our bottoming tail right there. Okay, so at the open, we would be getting this because it is taking out, obviously, yesterday's high. All right, PEIX. Beautiful one right there. I mean, you had the bottoming tail yesterday, and you would have gotten the alert, you know, right when it took out yesterday's high. Now, I'm going to show you something, and we can go through a lot of these. You're going to see a lot of these are just beautiful little setups there, and they're working. And the reason I wanted to bring it to your attention is because there's a lot of new traders in here, and they just don't know what to trade. You know, a lot of people are that way, not just new traders, intermediate traders. If you don't have a style, this could be something that you might want to look at because, like I said, your entry is defined. Your entry is defined because you have the pattern from yesterday, a bottoming tail, and now we're taking out that high. So you're seeing just a lot of good trade. Now they're you get the same ones over and over. That one was a gap and go. You'd have to be aggressive on that. And then let's get up here to some of these green bar reversals so you can see the pattern there. It's a little bit different. It's just a red bar followed up by a green bar reversal. And then, of course, you had the gap and go there, which was nice. There's Yeti coming through. There's your green bar reversal yesterday. And so you would have caught Yeti in this. So there's just, I mean, guys, I'm not seeing too, there's your doji. And this is what I'm talking about. See how yesterday you had that doji? Well, if I hold my cursor over, you're going to see that the open, if you look at the top there, and the close was exactly the same to the penny. If it's 1 penny off, it will not show you a doji. So that's why you don't get a lot of dojis. And like I said, you're going to see a lot of the same stocks coming through. Now, something about M windows that I got to inform you about, because these are what we call multi-strategies. So in this one, if I right click and go into strategies, you're going to see this has 4 different strategies in there. So there's a caveat here. And what it is in the morning, in the first maybe 15 to 20 minutes of the day, maybe even 30 minutes, you have a lot of data flying through this one window. And it's kind of like a lot of people rushing for the same exit. You know, it's going to bottleneck. And so what happens is the data gets all bottlenecked up and you don't get some of these alerts. And I've discussed this people with these multi-strategies windows with a lot with people, because they come to me and they'll have 6 or 7 strategies in there and they're all very active. And once you're just trying to squeeze all this data, you know, through one small opening, and it's tough to do. So this is what I recommend, okay? Go ahead and run it, maybe look at some of the ones coming through there, but I can tell you right now the 2 best ones in here are bottoming tail and green bar reversal. And if you look at these and you decide you want to use one of these strategies, or you like one strategy more than the other one, we have a nice pop-out feature. All you have to do is come over here and click on, let's say bottoming tail. You want to see bottoming tail, just click on bottoming, but don't click on it, just hover, and then go down here and go to open alert window. And it's going to open up, I already had this open up, that's why I pulled it from the below. It's going to open up the alert window by itself. So you don't have all those other strategies in here with it. So you're going to see in the early morning, you're going to see a lot more of these coming through. As a matter of fact, I also did the green bar reversal, and I popped it out, and you're going to see, you got to see Yeti a lot earlier in this window because this was early in the day, and there's a lot of dating coming through. So sometimes some of these alerts will get blocked out of this multi-strategy window because it's just too much data coming through. So be careful when you're using multi-strategies. So what I would recommend is check out some of these and go ahead and pop out the windows. It's very easy to do. You just saw me do it. You just right click, you go to the strategy. If I wanted to pop out doji, just pop it out. And now you can, fix everything like you like it, the columns and all that. Obviously I wouldn't want all these columns in there, but anyway, guys, I think it would behoove you to take a look at some of these because you do get some very, very pretty setups, and Trade Ideas does all the hard work for you by going and finding these setups the night before. Okay, so you're not just chasing. A lot of times people get tired of just chasing these momentum trades. They feel like they don't catch them early, they get away from them, they don't want to be the chasers. Take a look at something like this. A lot of these trades people aren't going to be looking at because they don't have the software to go out and find these setups for you like Trade Ideas will do. Now tomorrow, we come in, there's going to be a total different symbol list in there. And you can't go and look at these symbol lists, all right? They're just, it's a pre-configured setting inside the software. The alerts are just going to start coming through. So I'll take that back, Jamie. I guess you could put these in, you could put that in a top list and you would see them, wouldn't you? Now, you could.
I believe you're correct.
Yeah. Yeah, you won't see them in an A window, but if you want to put them in a top list and take a look at the windows, you could do that. So check that out, guys. I think and once again, you can find that in the Trader's Vault. Just look for the old key there, and you can find it and grab it. All right, let's see. Thank you, Susie. Appreciate it. All right, we're going to talk about a window called. We're going to talk about Fibonacci is what we're going to talk about. And I have a window that I built for Fibonacci's. Fibonacci retracement. Okay, so we have an alert. Okay, if you go into any alert window, you're going to find, and you type in Fibonacci's, you can just probably type FIB and it's going to pull up. You're going to see these Fibonacci alerts. What I don't like about these are based on hours of trading. Okay, so if you're wanting to do Fibonacci's on an intraday pattern and you come in here and you put hours of trading, 6 hours, what it's going to do, it's going in the morning time, it's going to look at the hours from the previous day. Okay, so what it's going to do is look at the most recent trailing hours. So if you're doing 6 hours and you're 2 hours into today's trading, it's going to be looking at 4 hours from yesterday's close. To me, that doesn't work. If I'm doing an intraday Fibonacci, I want to go off the low and high of today's range, okay? And most people do. So I figured out we can use position and range filters and do the same thing. Now, I'm one who thinks Fibonacci's work so much better on a daily pattern than it does on an intraday. I don't know. To me, they don't work all that great on an intraday. So what I did is I built one for daily retracements, and I'm going to show you how I did it. It's a multi-strategy window because I have to use a position in yearly range feature. So let's just go look at the 50% retracement here. If I go to the 50% retracement and we go to configure, what I'm doing is I wanted to find stocks that are hitting a new low and they're coming down to that 50% retracement on the yearly chart. So if I go into window specific filters, you're going to see here position in year range. It's very simple. I tell people over and over, you can build so much stuff by using our position and range filters. And this is just one example. Our position in year range, what I did, I just bracketed, okay, the 50% mark. So I know if I have this bracketed, the stock's hitting a new low, it's coming down and it's sitting on its 50% retracement on the yearly chart pattern. The rest of these are just parameters, basic parameters. So that's really all I have. I want to see stocks hitting a new low, and I bracketed that yearly retracement on the. So let's take a look at some of these. Let's go ahead to our time frame here. All you have to do is click on now to see the stuff for today. And that is it. Not a lot of stuff today. Let's take a look at Osure. All right. Osure came down today at price around 12.50. Look at that, 12.50 this morning. There you see that right there. Barely can see the arrow. See if I can zoom out here and see it better. Well, anyway, you can barely see it there at the bottom, that little arrow. All right, at 12.50 area, that was our 50% retracement. If we go back on a year, you will probably be able to tell going from just this. We're just going to use the naked eye here. You're just going to have to trust our technology here, but that's the low. Okay, that's the high of the year, and our boom right there would be right at the 50% retracement. You can just see it. Let's just go ahead and draw one more line so you can see it. Make here, right around there. There you go. There you have it. So New York Times did a 61.8 retracement today. There you have it. I'm not going to draw it again, but there's our low, there's our high, there's we came down to the 61.8 retracement. Let's take a look at this eBook, which did a nasty retracement from its yearly. Oh, that's kind of ugly. I don't want to look at this thing. Yeah, I'm not going to look at that thing with a big old wick up there. But anyway, very easy to do, guys. And I wanted to show this because it's the same thing, and I'm hoping the gentleman who wanted to see this is in here today, because you could do the same thing for a intraday. Now, if intraday works for you, you know, I said earlier that I didn't like it, but that's just me personally. Hey, if you make money on a strategy, it's a good strategy for you. Okay, so to do it with an intraday strategy, all you're going to need to do is let me go to configure here. We'll just go to configure. We'll stick with the same 50% like I did. So this is position and yearly range. So what you're going to want to do the intraday range is you're going to want to come over here to search and just type in POS for position. You can abbreviate, and you're going to find this one called position and range. It doesn't have a word in it. It's the intraday range. So what you're going to do is you're going to click on that, add filter, and then you're just going to replace the position in yearly range, and you're going to put the same values in the position in range, and that will find you the ones for today. Now you're probably going to have to put, if you're going to do this, you're probably going to want to put some more parameters like volume parameters, position, change from close. Put some parameters in there so you're not getting just a constant, because if you use the same ones that I did on this daily one, you're just going to get so much symbols flying through, you're not going to be able to follow it. So put some other parameters. Maybe a good idea would put, up at least 1%, maybe relative volume 1.5. Just put some parameters in there so you're only getting quality, alerts coming through.
Hey, Andy, real quick, look at the questions panel, and you see Stan G's question up there. I'm not sure.
Yeah, let's see. This is calculated based on a 12-month period, not a calendar year, right? Yes and no. Stan, it's based on 365 days. So yes, it's 12 month. It's kind of weird because when you go to position in range, let me see. Let's see. I'm trying to, the position in year range. Okay, and we click on our show me button. I don't think it's going to give us the details of it. But you can see from the chart that I just marked up, it is accurate. I think it is based upon it is, Jamie, the new high, the new high alert that we use, when you put in days, you put in 365 days, and that is a new yearly high, I was told by Brad. Right. So yeah, so I'm thinking they have it worked into the position. I mean, the position in 12, the yearly range. It's not going to be 365 trading days. I'm pretty sure, Stan. I'll verify this for you, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be 12 months. Okay, when you're using the position in the yearly range. I'm not 100% sure on that, but if I had to guess, I'd say I was probably 90% sure. So, but I'll try to get that verified for you. All right. I hope that made it clear. Let's see. Yeah, there's Alexander's here. Good. Let's see. I like the way you do the intraday with the score above 80 volatility. It's okay. Okay, there you go. That would probably work if you're doing high scores. Yeah, just what I like to do when I'm building something, if I just pull it up, I run a history for today, and if I'm getting too much in there, I go back into configuration and go to filters, and I try to work it so I'm getting, you know, better quality alerts, and that just comes with practice, just adding, you know, volume, change from close, or two of the main ones that I use. All right. Yeah, what I would really, because I like to, if you're looking for strong stocks that are pulling back, obviously when you're looking at Fibonacci's, you're looking for pullbacks. I wouldn't use a real deep one like 30, whatever the 31, whatever that is, the 38.2 retracement, because if I'm looking for intraday buys, I don't want it to pull back that much. But maybe the 61.8 one would be good if I'm looking for stocks that are strong on the day, maybe up 1 or 2%, doing decent volume, and use the 61.8. That may be a good buy there. So I may have to play around with that myself. All right, I got to get moving on to the incredible price alerts that you guys set. All right, and here they are. And the big winner is, I think you pronounce this Ime, but I'm not sure. So, but man, he called plug, and this is a 22% winner from Ime on plug. And let's zoom in on the daily here, and boy, he had a good one. Yeah, right there was the call, and look at the follow through on that one. So great call there, Ime on plug. And we had several of them. Waleed on SunPower had a 13% winner plus. There was another few. Oh yeah, a few 6-7% winners. LAC for KJ, nice little call there. And look, that one actually looks pretty good. Like it has some more juice to it. Great little swing trade call there. Lou had a 6% winner on ISRG. Right there, boom. Man, that's a nice dollar gain too, about almost $30 there in that ISRG. So a lot of good calls. Guys, this is why we do this. You guys can feed off each other's alerts. So great job, guys. Yeah, you're Neo short. You know what? I'm happy to say I'm still in Neo. I mean, trust me, I don't have very much left, but man, what a run it's been. And this is what happens, you know. This is why I always say I like to keep a core position, because what happens is it gets away from you and you're thinking I'm going to wait for a pullback, and then you get this price action. Just incredible, you know, very little left. And yeah, as a matter of fact, I got out of some yesterday near highs, around close to like 39.40 or somewhere. And I started hoping for a pullback, and then of course I'm still happy, but yeah, I'm kind of wanting a pullback now, but oh well. All right. Great job, guys. Let's do it again. All right, we got. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. A little bit of a delay there. You're going to drop the cloud link for that other window in the chat, correct?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yes. Thank you, Jamie. All right. Let me put this back on real time, and I will. Never mind. I can just share it from here. So I'll drop this Fibonacci retracement. Yeah. This dev version is causing me a little problem, so I'm gonna have to tell them about that. I'll check it out tomorrow. All right, fib retrace.
And you're also getting a request for the doji one.
It's in there. I'm giving you the doji one. Oh, the bullish daily candlestick. You can find that in. And it'll have the doji one in there. Go to Trader's Vault and you'll find this bully daily candlestick, and it'll have all 4 of these strategies in there. So your doji will be in there. You're welcome. All right, let me pull up the price alerts here, and let's hear some. And here's the rules, guys. Here's the rules. Give me a stock and a price, and Bill, I'm loving we call it Donkey Kong. I've been in that for a couple of days now. I tried it earlier, I think you guys know, and I got stopped out, but hey, I jumped right back in. And I jumped back in on this day right here. So Donkey Kong at 44.05, okay. And that is from Bill E. ACB 635. And that's from Dave. 635. Where's it trading at? 633 right now. He's going to get one. Jamie, do you mind reading these off to me?
No problem.
Oh, thank you, buddy.
Okay, what was your last one? The Donkey Kong?
HCD. So I need RKT.
RKT at 23 for Daniel.
I like it.
You got that one?
Oh, wait. 23. He's going pretty high up.
And Liliana, you said PEIX, but we're going to need a direction and a price.
Baba 295. He's doing a little bottom fishing here.
291 on the Baba for Lou.
Okay. All right.
Then you're going to have Snap at 42.55 for gain.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, we were looking at that one in the support session today. It's looking pretty tight.
Yeah, you guys are starting to get a good eye for this stuff. I know that. All right.
Then we're going to have TAN at 11.21 for, oh, wait. I'm sorry. David Harper, TAN 76.01 is the trigger.
Okay.
And Liliana, PEIX, a target of 11.21. But what's the trigger price? Oh, in at 7. Okay, we'll get to that one next then.
Hold on, this system's nuts. Hold on, let me try this again. What was 7601?
On the TAN?
Yeah.
7601 for David. Yeah.
Gosh, why is it error update price field? Why is it doing that?
Well, the stock appears to be at 76.44.
Oh, let's try doing this. 50.
It's still giving you a gray box. That's weird.
Yeah, but I put 77 in, it will. Let's see, that's weird. There we go. 77.55.
Okay, so next we've got PEIX at a trigger of 7.21 for Liliana.
It's printing there now. I'm gonna go around 7:30.
Right, got to take a little higher because post-market action.
What's the name?
Liliana.
Okay.
Next, we got Waleed wants a little piece of Neo again at 42.50.
That's long? Oh, short?
I believe, I don't know, Waleed, is that long or short? Long.
Oh, 42.50.
Jay was saying you were adding too many decimal points earlier. Maybe you had a couple of decimals in there instead of one.
What was that, 42.50? Sorry about that.
Neo, yeah, All right, next we got ELAN long at 33 for,
All right.
Yep, and IME is the name.
Okay.
Next, we got Stan the Man. He wants to go RLGY long at 1311.
All right.
Okay, next is Work at 2670 long for Mark.
We're starting to get a lot of participants, aren't we?
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, we might have to start offering prizes. Who knows?
I'm telling you. And that was Mark.
Mark Henson, yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. Chris is chiming in over here. Says somebody viewing the webinar through YouTube wants FNGU, but Chris, we're going to need a price and a direction.
FNGU, that's all right. FNGU, and I can figure out something here.
Long at 240
Okay.
for, let me know when you're ready for the name.
Okay.
And that would be for ES Noble. ES Noble. And I do believe that is it.
All right, man. A lot of contestants. I'm gonna copy these guys. You know the drill here. I'm gonna copy them and add them to the chat window, so everybody will be able to track these and see how they fare against the competition. All right, price alerts. It's fun that you guys are doing this, because if you're taking the test drive, we're going to have a contest where you can actually win a yearly subscription to Trade Ideas by providing.
Andy.
Yep.
Unless my eyes are playing tricks on me here, I'm looking at your price alerts. Look over the status column.
Oh gosh. Well, you know what? We're just going to keep them. You know, they're probably a lot of them.
We'll see how they perform. Okay.
Yeah, we'll see how they perform. That's okay. You know, they probably just triggered in after hours. We set them, they hadn't triggered. They probably just, you know, whatever reason.
Yeah, we can track them by the date. You can track them by the date.
I better get Scott in here, because my I can see my little glitch is acting up again. I'm going to have to let the developers know that, yeah, we might have to work on this a little bit. All right, guys, thank you very much. Scott's going to come in and tell you a little more about our test drive coming up. Hang on.
Yeah, so the test drive is always a really popular event. We do them a couple times a year. It's a way for you to try all the Trade Ideas premium features, just like a premium subscriber, for under $9 for 2 full weeks. And we give extra support sessions, and it is a great way if you're a standard subscriber to experience premium features, or if you're just thinking about signing up, getting the full flavor of Trade Ideas. So go to trade-ideas.com/test drive for the details and a sign up. And if you sign up before tomorrow, you'll be able to have access at the close tomorrow to start learning the features, to be all set to start the test drive on Monday. So do that, sign up. We've got daily live classes that'll also be going on during the test drive, just same as the trading room. Go to trade-ideas.com/live to access that. Just bookmark that page, and then it takes you to our YouTube channel. We've got an ebook about earnings season. It's been very popular. Trade-ideas.com/earnings is the URL to go to. It's got a couple of strategies that you can import into your layouts and learn how to take earnings season to your advantage. There's a podcast. We've got some good episodes up this year, so subscribe, and then you'll be ready to pick up the next one as soon as it comes out. Also, check out those interviews that we have in the back issues. Trade Ideas Podcast is the term to search for. There's a discount code, fall savings, and that saves 15% off your first month or year of Trade Ideas or upgrade. So go ahead and grab that code if you want to start up today. Otherwise, sign up for that test drive and practice with us for 2 weeks. Any questions? Email us, info@trade-ideas.com. You can find Jamie on Twitter at QuantBot. Steve Gomez is at Day Trader. We also have @Trade Ideas. Trade Ideas Pro is the Facebook handle to share stuff with your friends on the book. All right, we're going to have this recording up later on tonight or tomorrow, and you get an email reminder tomorrow with a link to the playlist where you can find it. Thanks, Jamie. Thank you, Andy. Have a good one.
Thanks, Scott. Liliana, if you will send an email to that info@trade that you see on the screen there and ask for that video to set up a second window, we'll get that to you. Okay, appreciate it. Thanks, everybody.
See you later.